Hey gang, welcome back. I'm Kay. This is Ecstatic Self, and for today, I want to talk about something that I'm a little bit emotional about. I sometimes hear people, and it's a specific type of people, who say, you can't be a yogi if you're not heterosexual. Or you can't practice Tantra if you don't only have sex with the opposite gender. Okay, I get where they're coming from. I get that a lot of these people are coming from very homophobic cultures, traditional cultures. Maybe homophobic's too strong of a word. But first, let me just say this: yogis, and specifically tantric yogis, have always been the rule breakers, the outsiders, and the dangerous ones. They're the ones who would carry around a begging bowl made out of a cleaned human skull. They're the ones who would cover themselves in cadaver ash and wander around naked. They're the ones who would go meditate in crematoriums and funeral pyres. We're scary and we're rule breakers. So anytime you say to me, hey, you're stepping outside the lines, I say, great. That's exactly what we should be doing. Because sometimes a little bit of scare is a good thing. And sometimes it's enough to shake somebody up and wake them up a little bit. So first, don't give me that bullshit about that being outside guidelines. Second thing, let's go into, and this is the point of the video today, is union with the self, with the cosmic self, with another person, is all about finding balance. And this is what they're coming from, is you want to find a union of positive and negative, light and dark, masculine and feminine, Shiva and Shakti, as they would call it in a Tantric tradition or an Indian tradition, spiritual tradition. And so as a male-bodied person, I therefore should only have sex with a female-bodied person. They should be my tantric partner, because therefore we find a balance within our polarities. That is a very traditionalist, a very dogmatic interpretation of that. Why this is incorrect or lacking completeness is the fact that each of us, especially those who identify as being part of the queer community, and I like the word queer because I find it very inclusive. You could say LGBTQIA, but for me it means somebody who doesn't identify as being purely heteronormative. Their sexuality isn't entirely heterosexual, their gender expression isn't entirely gender normative, their gender identification is entirely normative, their sexual bodies and sexual organs aren't typical, gender typical, sex typical. If you exist anywhere on these spectrums, then you hold polarity within yourself. You already hold masculine and feminine, solar and lunar, Shiva and Shakti. And in fact, every person holds that polarity within themselves. You can balance all of those things within yourself. You can balance all those things with a partner. So if I want to sexually engage with somebody who has the same gender identity as me, I don't need them to balance me. We can both be energetically balanced in ourselves, both holding masculine, feminine, Shiva, Shakti, positive, negative, light, dark, solar, lunar, whatever you want to call it, and join together. If I want to explore uniting as me and this person, we can do that as well. Now, are there certain more quote-unquote advanced tantric practices that do need to be practiced through opposite gender persons? As far as I know, yes. From the people I've learned from, there are certain practices that are supposed to be performed that way. But 99% of the stuff that we do, gender doesn't matter. And Tantra is a very queer, affirming spiritual tradition. It says wherever you are, however you express yourself, whatever way you're created is perfect and beautiful, and celebrate that and use that for your personal growth. So there's everything right about being LGBTQIA, for being queer, for being gay, for being trans, for being gender nonconforming, for being whatever. You are perfect as you are. So all of us, regardless of your gender identification, regardless of your sexual identification, we can feel both Shiva and Shakti within. If you are male identified or masculine leaning, yeah, you might more easily connect with Shiva, that male masculine energy, and in a future video I'll be diving into what is that. If you are more female identified, you might identify more with Shakti, the goddess energy. But maybe not. There have been plenty of realized saints throughout centuries who have merged with the opposite. Like, for example, Yogananda, Ramakrishna, both were big devotees of feminine aspects of divine energy and worked a lot with that. So it is entirely possible that you resonate with something that doesn't match your gender, and it is entirely doable to find that balance within yourself, and you can also find it within another person. So other videos will be talking about how do you pull on that energy, how do you use it, how do you pull more of that into yourself. But for this, I just want to say, love where you're at. And we're going to end with a little bit of a meditation. So close your eyes, follow your breath, and just let yourself be where you are. Remind yourself that your expression of your identity, your expression of attraction and who you are and what you want shifts based on who you're with, time of the year, time of your life. There have been many times in my life, most times where I've felt very strongly same-sex attracted. There have been times in my life where I felt opposite sex attracted. There's been times in my life where I felt attracted to no one or everyone. There's times where I've identified as being more male or masculine. There's been times where I've identified as more female, more feminine. And that's okay. Let go of labels, let go of identifying yourself. Just find beauty with being where you are, because you are enough. You are perfect. You are exactly as you were meant to be. So celebrate that. You're beautiful, you are worthy. And you should thank the universe for making you the way you are. Because you are beautiful. Try to hold this as you move forward today. Again, my name is Kay. It's a pleasure to get to be here with you. I hope this helps some people out there. This is Ecstatic Self. Have a great day. Namaste.